Pick a card. What do people realize about you right now? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading.
Okay.
Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this lovely image on the right-hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. I heard Laverne and Shirley in the song, the intro to the show. That was a very old show. Let's see the lyrics. Okay. On your mark, get set, let's go now. Got a dream and we just know now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. We're gonna do it our way, yes, our way. Making all dreams come true. Anyways, spare you the rest, but this is about materializing, manifesting your dreams. And the words that I got from this was partnerships, unconventionality. I definitely got a lot of 2 of Cups energy vibes. It's a close attachment. And also that your close attachment style is very unconventional. You could be very mysterious, very magnetic. You could have a lot of gravitas to you. You could, pile number 1, have beautiful teeth or something about teeth. You could have a pet that inspires fear also, which is why I chose this image. And those of you that have been with me for a while, you have seen this image before. I chose to use it because I feel like out of everything, it really represents my relationship with my dog, whom unfortunately passed a couple of days ago. So rest in peace, Coco Chanel. He was my heart. But you could have a pet that inspires fear. Yeah, you could be, and you could be someone that people want to make their pet, but you inspire fear as well, right? So with Coco, he was an unusual pet, to say the least. No one can get close to him. And as he got older in, later years in life, it seemed like he didn't even want me around. But the truth is he would, want to come up and not let me cuddle. He did everything on his terms. He would snarl if I tried to kiss him, but turn his cheek away so I can make sure that I knew that I wasn't going to get bit, but he would turn his cheek so I can kiss and nuzzle on him, and he would make these growling noises and, like, I hate it, kiss me more. So you could have a relationship like that, or maybe perhaps you have some reptile friends, or I don't know your life, right? Now, if this isn't resonating, then I'm just going to say that your attachment style, and I don't know why it's going to this, maybe it's, the attachment, it goes back to the pet and that sort of thing, back to the image that I selected. But your attachment style could be one that is a little bit push me, pull me. People have to jump through hoops in order to get really close to you. Because I think with the image of the dog, and all of them have the dog image, I feel like you're not one to give your alliance easily or lightly. And people have to get through maybe your outside aesthetics. Maybe you have that beauty or that handsomeness, or people can't look beyond what you look like on the outside. And so you show them like the worst of the worst. And if they can hang in there for a minute or take a breather or care to have a double take, then they might make it to the good stuff. But if not, then they're automatically disqualified. So this is what people are realizing about you. I didn't know what the title to this reading was going to be. So if this sounds like you, if this sounds interesting, or if you're simply here just to kind of put background noise while you clean house or sleep or do whatever, then I am ever so grateful. Go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you are new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful, hopeful, or at the very least, something that is encouraging. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am ever so grateful to have you. Welcome back. Pile number 1. What are people realizing about you? I don't exactly know the title, but here we are doing things. So, what are they realizing about you? Yeah, we're not taking reversals here. That you are the star, that you are a star. Maybe perhaps that you prefer to blend into the background and not bring yourself into the forefront. A little bit of like when you wake up in the morning, the sun is already shining, and yet you can see a couple of stars still out if you look really closely. Perhaps also people are realizing that you are quite private with like nicks in the darkness, right? All of this is dark. That you get a lot of downloads, that you listen. I'm hearing somebody listens to the fairies. I don't know about that, but that could resonate with one of you perhaps. I feel like people are also realizing maybe perhaps that you have connections to like ancient, I'm hearing Egypt, but I meant Greece, which is really interesting. My brain and my mouth said 2 different things. So it could be very much like that people are starting to realize that there's a lot more depth to you, that maybe perhaps you have spoken things to throw people off, or that you're really more, you're busy with your inner life, with your inner dream, because the star to me always alludes to like headed towards your North Star, right? Like headed towards what it is that makes your heart sing. But also this could be public acknowledgement. This could be also healing. And so maybe perhaps people, and because it was reversed, I guess I got to say that. I didn't check my cards before I started shuffling at all. Nope, they're not all reversed. Okay. So I'm going to say that perhaps people don't really, they're starting to realize now that maybe perhaps you've undergone massive journeys and massive changes in your inner world, and that you're not really quite willing to share that with everybody. And why would you, right? I'm looking at this ghostly figure right here, a little bit of her glow up, and maybe perhaps people have only been privy to your public world outer image, what you allow people to see on the casual, right? Your unique aesthetics or your whatever your outside persona is. But what people are realizing is that there's so much more depth to you that they really need to kind of put things down and handle you carefully. Handle you. I hate those words. It makes me want to punch people in the face. But I'm going to say that pile number 1, if you're here and you selected the image and that's why you're here, maybe you like the number 1 as well, or 111, or maybe perhaps when you come to my readings, you always come to pile number 1. I don't know your life, right? I'm going to say that people know that you could be very, very spicy, that you could be a little bit like if something sets you off, sets you on edge, you're going to say something. Okay. So maybe perhaps people know that you are a little bit mouthy or whatever, or they have to come around you with care, not tiptoe, but they have to come towards you correctly. Otherwise you will unleash the hounds, right? And that could be anything. That could be like you're going to speak your truth, or you're going to check people and put them in their place. But I feel like people are realizing that this comes from a place of like self-protection, and that you've done a lot of healing and you're not willing to mess that up. So that's going to be for some of you. Now, I feel like for 80% of you, this comment, that comment of like people are realizing that you do things like that to keep people at bay, or to make it a little bit more difficult to make sure that people are going to have longevity or staying power in your life and things like that. I feel like you're going to be in disbelief, kind of like, well, I don't think people know that, but honestly, people know that. People are starting to realize that. Okay. So pile number 1, what are people realizing? 6 of Wands. Yeah, look, there's something about public acclaim, like you are being recognized publicly. And because it started to come up reverse, I feel like it's your tendency to want to fly under the radar, that you don't want to be like on the silver screen. You don't want to be the go-to person. And I feel like that makes you the perfect go-to person. That makes you the perfect, let's be on the silver screen. And that makes you the person that people like want to come to and view, simply because you don't have that ego of Let me do this for clout. Let me, let me be seen this way. And I feel like it draws more, it makes you more trustworthy in spirit's eyes in some ways. It's kind of interesting. But I feel like people can really, they can bank on the fact that you're not doing it simply just to look good, or you're simply doing things in order to be viewed in a certain manner. I don't know. It's something about public acclaim. Now, with your traditional Six of Wands, it's always about them being on the horse, right? And they have like these wands raised up to the rider. And this is like a victory after a long battle. So people have seen you battle, because we're coming from the Five of Wands prior to this. And I'm just going to say that now you have come through like with purity. Like when people, oh, the number 555 on camera just now, that can mean something to someone. We're going to get through these cards, I promise. But I definitely feel like people have seen you go through it. Like you could have been even publicly like witch hunted in many ways. Like maybe perhaps people try to give you like a bad reputation, whatever the case is. I feel like you were highly misunderstood, and then you just gave up on trying to be understood. You're like, whatever. And now people are starting to really understand you and have this compassion, and I think waking up from a misconception of whom you really are. They're starting to see that you are very actually close to spirit, that again, you're unconventional, that the choices that you make in life, maybe even perhaps your attire, the way you dress, your color of your hair, things like that are very different, maybe even alternative, but that you hold in your body. I'm all in that beautiful chest cavity of yours. What a weirdo complimenting like that, but here we went to that direction. You know that you have a lot of purity and a lot of wisdom to give, and that maybe perhaps you're going through a difficult time making this transition of becoming more public with whatever it is that you are learning, have learned, or whatever. Now, I'm going to tell you really quick, this isn't for your ego. This isn't for money. This isn't for anything other than just to allow other people to really realize that they too can overcome the things that you have overcome. And understandable if you can only talk about things in a gradual manner, or you can share whatever within capacity. But whatever it is that you have achieved, whatever it is that you've overcome with a Five of Wands before this, Six of Wands right here, I feel like a lot of it is public knowledge to begin with. And so that's what people are realizing, this they're putting two and two together, is this healing journey and things like that. Maybe perhaps you're meant to share this journey with other people, not for you to be like, ooh, look at me, I'm an Instagram whatever, and I have all these, and it could be a thing, but I feel like more than anything, it's to really help people on a deep level. So we're going to keep it pushing here. Pile number 1, you have the 10 of coins. Yeah. And so this really talks to me about family. It talks to me about abundance. And she does not look like a spring chicken. She has put elbow grease into the time, energy, effort, like blood, sweat, and tears. And she has been loyal to the cause. And I'm going to say that this could have a lot to do with people realizing that maybe you have healed a lot, or are healing, or are on a journey that has to do with like family and having battles and overcoming and coming out through the other side, and having different causes. But really, people are starting to comprehend that you did it all in order to really, it could be like escaping generational curses, eradicating them, or because keep in mind, whatever we do now is going to affect our children, so on and so forth, in the now and in the future. But I feel like you have this longevity, this this long stare. What do they call that? I forget what it's called. But you're focused on the prize, and this is overcoming whatever it is that you need to overcome generationally in order to make things better for everyone else. And I don't think that people have realized this up till maybe perhaps fairly recently, okay? But abundance is yours, and people are starting to realize, wow, like this is really what abundance is about, or they have an idea of finally, or a comprehension of what your unique perspective of abundance is all about, okay? So I'm trying not to make these readings long, but I'm never able to make them short either. Here we are in a quandary, you and I. Pile number 1, if you are liking these kind of readings, please do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. Also, if you can click your little notification bell, I would be ever so grateful. Pile number 1, what are they realizing about you? Man holding a heart. Wow. Yeah. Well, this could be for some of you guys that are single or even not, and it could be same sex, doesn't make a difference, but people are realizing that they have a deep heart for you. And I don't know if I ever noticed this heart on the knee because I get distracted. But I'm going to say that people are realizing that you're really grounded, that you have a huge heart, and that you're always looking and maybe perhaps even weighing and measuring other people's hearts. And it's all about that it's never been about the cash. It's never been about what you can bring to the table in that way. That is always, that it's always been about what kind of a heart you have. And that to you is abundance, having the similar dreams, having that support, it's like that you have a really big heart, and people are starting to realize that they really have fallen in love with you. Now, this could be platonically, this could be romantically, whatever the case is. Each case is different, as these readings are definitely designed for the multitude, the masses, optimistically. So pile number 1, people are realizing that they've gone seasons kind of watching you, looking, and not really perhaps understanding you or being a little bit spooked by you, fascinated, they can't turn away. But you have a ton of looky-loos. I promise you that. People admire your style and things like that. But most of all, people really admire your heart. And I don't really know how they're getting this. It could be maybe you're on social media and you talk about certain things, or maybe you're an advocate for like the shelter, or you're an advocate for people that have been taken away by ICE, or you're an advocate for the underdog, the underprivileged, whatever the case is. I feel like you've done it with, not a big paycheck, or if any at all, and you've given it your all. And that's how people are starting to see, wow, this is like a real thing. And this is not just a facade, okay? I feel like also people have long misunderstood you, and they're coming around to really finally understanding you for whatever reason. Pile number 1, you have yin and yang. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up that window. So, in theory, my voice should not change because I'm wearing a headset, but it seems like whenever I move, my voice does change. So you got the yin and the yang, and I'm going to say this has a lot to do with like balance, right? And people are starting to realize and starting to understand that maybe perhaps you are indeed a yin to their yang. You balance them out energetically, emotionally, spiritually. That maybe perhaps they've seen you go through being all the things, right? You've been the divine masculine because you had to, or because you had to be a go-getter, or because that was sort of the time frame that you had to really, not prove yourself necessarily, but that you had to undergo things such as like maybe chasing a job, chasing a dream, things like that. And people are starting to realize that you can balance that out with receptivity. And it's really quite beautiful to be able to see the balance, because maybe perhaps people thought that only you were involved in this massive, let me go get everything, let me be boss babe, let me be boss guy, whatever. And, you're going to make that bag, you're going to take it because it's yours, and all these things. But what people didn't realize is that you were after something bigger than that, something of a higher frequency, something that was destined for you. Okay, I get the Wheel of Fortune energy here. But let's see what else we have for you. The number 14 on camera right now. You could be very connected to angel numbers. Pile number 1, what are they realizing? They're realizing that they're not the main male and that it's not over. What? Okay, they're realizing that somebody here has someone, and I know we don't want to hear this, somebody that is mind blown, because all of a sudden I'm seeing this like big cloud. And you could have been drawn to the reading that I did prior to this. My crown chakra in the left hand by the occipital bone, it is actually tingling. So I definitely feel like if you're getting a reaction like that, or if this speaks to you, then know for a fact that somebody's mind is blown from your past. Perhaps they are no longer in the picture. They're trying to be in the picture, or you can't really see that they're trying to get in the picture. Interesting. But maybe once upon a time they thought that, yeah, and the number one keeps being repeated here. They thought they were like main character in your life, and now they're realizing that they are not. And with the coffin reverse, people are realizing that they don't want to give you up any longer. So if you had people that kind of bypassed you as a partner, bypassed you as a friend, or as an employee or whatever, they want you back on board. They want to be able to I'm hearing soft serve. I don't even know what that means. So you could have a lot of, yeah, people trying to approach you in a way that isn't threatening, in a way that's just kind of a soft pitch. Oh, hey, how's it going? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Or they strategically run into you at the store, or whatever the case is, whatever capacity, whether it's online or not. Now, I definitely feel like there's a lot of strategy involved right here. And you know, these people that realize that they're not main character, it's a little bit funny. There could have been like a lot of arrogance, a lot of, I heard postulating, is that how you say it? A lot of preening, a lot of, I'm getting Knight of Wands energy where it's like, oh, I'm here, I'm in it, but I'm not in it to win it. It's like I'm here now and gone later, quickly. And their passion overrides their common sense. And so these people, this person can realize that they actually have real lingering feelings, or maybe perhaps they're beyond the stage of, you know, running around, running amok and thinking, wow, like I gave that up for, you know, a history and a slew of knots on my belt, notches on the belt. I don't know what it's called anymore, but it really is all for nothing. Yeah. And I definitely feel like that could be even talking about one person. It could be about a lot of despair that they feel. A lot of despair, a lot of not hiring, but I'm hearing not thinking when I first looked at it. And with this window, it seems very clouded, and it's almost like people are peering into him instead of the other way around, like he's looking through the window to see what's going on. Other people are looking at him and seeing that despair. And maybe perhaps it's like you showed a lot of loyalty to this person or these people. It could be a clan, it could be a person, it could be a prototype. Keep in mind that sometimes we wind up dating the same person or having a best friend, the same person with a different face, right? And the point of the story is that we're here to really learn these lessons. And once you learn them, then your experience changes and you elevate and you are moving forward onto different life lessons and whatnot, right? And I'm hearing coachability. So this person or these people, they had no coachability once upon a time, and now they want to be coached by you, which is interesting. Yeah, I feel like you could have been dismissed, and now you are held very much in esteem. That you appear very balanced, but yet you don't want to come forward into the light to be seen by others. Maybe you just have an issue with that, and I get it because same. But anyways, that's what I have. Let me know what you guys think. Much love. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. Now, it's interesting because right away, as I was cleaning up and getting ready for your reading, I heard Guns N' Roses, and I heard Nice Boys. Nice Boys, wait, how's it go? Nice boys don't play rock and roll. Yeah. Nice boys don't play rock and roll. I'm not a nice boy, and I never was. So there could be something about that. Maybe perhaps you like rock and roll, you like old school rock and roll, or maybe you ran with that kind of a crowd. Maybe you went to concerts quite a bit, something about that. But there's definitely something to be said about your look. I also feel like once upon a time, you could have been somebody that was able to finesse people easily, quickly. I think you have a lightning rod kind of a mind where, yeah, I'm hearing warp speed. So maybe you like things like Star Trek or, yeah, anime or something about fantasy. But most of all I'm getting is just like lightning speed. So you could be into IT, you could be some kind of a technician. I don't know your life, but something about being very precise, very detail oriented, and very quick on the draw. Now, I'm also hearing self-made man, and this could be self-made woman, self-made man. Take it however you will. Now, I feel like it's funny because I'm going over like love languages already for some reason. And I feel I'm sensing more of the dog next to this person, whether you have a pet or not, it's kind of irrelevant. I'm just saying that your love language, I feel like once people get really close to you, you are an incredible like lover. It doesn't necessarily mean like sexually, but you love unconditionally. There's a softness about you. There's something approachable, an approachability about you. You're the antithesis to pile number one, I would say. When people get close to you, very close to you, and they realize that you're somebody who's going to go above and beyond all to protect, but that you are at that soft place to land, that you are the place to go to heal, that you are the place to go to for comfort and for protection as well. I feel like you could really help change people's minds about how they're thinking or what they're thinking. Some of you guys are actually in the mental health industry, and that could be pretty fascinating. But I think that you've learned a lot of lessons. You've learned something about how you've learned a lot of like coping skills that translate into your current life, right? Your personal life. So you could take a lot of your professional, I'm hearing adaptabilities, is that how you say it? I don't know. A lot of your skills, a lot of your mindset and the things that you have learned from your industry, whatever that would be, your profession, and you take it into your everyday life. And people really love this about you. People are realizing that if they act right around you, they have nothing to fear. Also, people are realizing that they need to take a couple of pages out of your wardrobe, out of the way that you put outfits together. Fit check, I'm hearing. So maybe you like to go on reels and things like that, and really you get captivated by different outfits and things like that. I certainly do. Fabric, outfits, texture. So I could get lost in a lot of things like that. But anyways, pile number 2. If this sounds like you, or if this is you, then go ahead and join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I hope that you find something that is helpful, something healing, something amusing, whatever it is that you need. For those of you that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am super grateful to have you here. Thank you guys so much for your patience. It's been a challenging month for me. It is my birthday month, yay! But it's been a very difficult month as well. So I just recently lost my companion of 16 years. My dear Coco Chanel is no longer with us, so it's been a devastating blow. But we're going to get through it. So the truth, what are people realizing about you? Let's say it like that. Pile number 2. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, that you've had a lot of endings. You've had a lot of pain that people have actually served to even stab you in the back. Now, it only takes one sword to really provide an ending, doesn't it? But I feel like even after these endings, people could have come after you over and over and over. And it wasn't simply to end things with you. It wasn't simply to be like, okay, I can't do this anymore. We're ending our friendship, or relationship, partnership, whatever, employment, whatever. I feel like they really strive to mar your name. I feel like they try to harm your self-esteem and also harm your reputation. So whatever these 10 of Swords are right here, and because I said 10 of Pentacles, it could have to do with family as well. I feel like people have just really spoken a lot of nasty, negative things about you. But the people that know you, they really see how contrasting this is with whom they have gotten involved with or how they've come to know you. And they realize that this is all pure lies. I feel like a lot of it is just lies. So, yeah, if you've had any endings recently or any endings that you're still suffering, because she's almost like holding her arm, almost like protecting her chest plate, right? In pain. I also heard in shame. I feel like you've had people try to come after you and try to ruin your reputation, ruin your self-esteem, ruin your peace, your mindset, and all those things. And so let's see where this goes, because the truth, yeah, what if people are realizing about you is maybe that you didn't deserve all this, and yet here we are talking about it because it happened, right? You have the Empress. So this could involve a mother. Your own mother could be speaking negatively against you. They could have the evil eye on you. It could be maybe perhaps you had like a falling out. And it could be perhaps that, yeah, because I see like tears here. So I feel like this person could have like really twisted the narrative in order to really benefit them, their story, their side, whatever the case may be. We have peacock feathers right here. So I feel like it has to do with like making them look good, making you look bad, shaming, being angry, retaliation, not wanting to really, wanting them to look pristine and perfect. Now, if this isn't a mother figure, a mother, a parent, if this is not anyone like that, this simply could be talking about a boss. This could be talking about somebody who has like Queen of Pentacles energy, because the Empress has been all of the queens. But I definitely feel somebody of like high authority, high power, or something like that, high in the pecking order. So, yeah. Anyways, I feel like people have realized that you have been done wrong, including and not limited to maybe your own family, things like that. So let's see where this goes. Pile number 2, what are people realizing about you? The 6th chakra. This actually came out in the pre-shuffle with the Archangel Metatron. So you could be into like sacred geometry, the, what they call that? The flower of life. But you could really be someone that is stable and known for what it is that you know, that you get downloads, that you see things with your third eye, and that maybe perhaps you've been like shamed for that. And that's just another form of like witch hunting. People get their panties a lot in a wad over things. They could feel like it's a personal attack upon them, or they could also feel like it's simply threatening and that they don't, you know, because I almost feel like you have this gift, this ability to be able to read people's minds or read people's hearts easily. And maybe perhaps you didn't even know it initially, but over time you grew to know it. Now, people definitely know that this is a gift and ability that you have, and I do feel like it does frighten some people. But what people are realizing right now about you is that you're very connected to your third eye, that you have this ability to see things, understand, download information quite easily, and that you have a lot of protection. Again, you could be drawn to like sacred geometry, Archangel Metatron, or maybe that's an archangel that you want to call upon if you need some help at this point in time. What else do we need? What are people realizing is that maybe perhaps this put you in a phase of indecision, like you didn't really know how to handle things, or it's like, well, with these endings, these betrayals, or it could even have been like an ending where you felt and you didn't have necessarily proof, like you're not waiting for receipts anymore, but you had to create endings yourself because you knew that your name was being dragged through the mud, that kind of a thing, right? And people were actually believing this. And now I feel like whomever was speaking negatively against you, they were making up lies, making up these big things. And now I feel like however these people are gaining the information, they're starting to see through the veneer, through the facade of that person that actually spoke against you, that it was all motive driven, that it was all a strategy. and they can't get out of the mess that they made is what I heard. Yeah. So what people are realizing about you is with the 8 right here, it's indecision, and it's like, which way do I go? Maybe perhaps that you've had a really difficult time navigating your life or navigating your way out of things, out of darkness, and that you have figured out that the only way to do it is to make a choice. That maybe no choice was easy, no choice was forthcoming, like, oh, this is a great idea to do, but that you just had to jump through and actually do the thing before a path was really clearly shown for you. Now, I'm hearing that maybe perhaps you could hold a lot of pain in your heart still, but that I don't feel like you're acting out of like victim mentality. I just feel like this has made you maybe hyper conscious, hyper aware. Maybe you could have a tie to pile number 1 a little bit, right? Hello. And I just tossed that and it landed kind of sideways as you saw. So with caring connections, this is like, okay, you think that people care and then they don't, then they care, then they don't. And you could go back and forth because of your own level of attachment. But I feel like the proof is in the pudding that people are realizing that you're able to even download information and intuit the fact that they're speaking negatively, like black magic against you. Some people are doing stuff that they should not be messing with. Let me just say that. And just to keep it clear, I don't feel like this is really harming you in any way. You could just do regular cleanses and things like that. But their intent is not good. And I feel like it's just retaliation. It's malicious aim. And yeah, it's with the intent to humble you. And so I feel like if you think, well, if my parent can do that, if my loved ones can do that, if the one that I was married to can do that, if my best friend can do that, then I mean, who is safe out there? And so you could be somebody that has questioned your judgment and your connections. And you could oscillate between, I really trust this person, they're a great person, to what the hell, I don't trust them at all. Because I look at this almost like it's pretty clear here. And then all of a sudden we have these like really dark clouds behind this person. So, and because it landed sideways, you could oscillate between, yeah, I got trusting, I know my way and things are going well. And then you could get really indecisive about relationships because you've had so many betrayals and things happen to you in life. With the number 14, the 4 is being repeated, something about like stability. You want to know that people are solid, that they're stable, that you're not stuck in a cycle, because the number 8 could be cycles and loops and like mental health issues as well, that you do not want to repeat these cycles of like betrayals and things like that. So I feel like you've gone on a journey, people are realizing, to really understand, comprehend like what happened, what transpired, what was your part in it, and what brought this about. Did you ignore red flags? Now, I'm definitely going to have to say that each of those 10 swords went in, metaphorically, right? And yet you didn't get out. You did make space. You didn't heed the warning. You didn't heed the, hey, this is really painful. Like, it took many different times for you to like separate and call it quits. Okay. So I feel like you could be a little bit, I'm seeing, you know, when you go to the range, and it's like when it's hard saying things on this platform because it will flag you for every little thing. But basically, whenever you are, let's say, tuning up a gun or you're doing target practice, it has a certain amount of pounds before it'll actually fire. The pin will fire, whatever we call it. And so I think your firing pin, yeah. So I think that you could be a little bit like hair trigger, like you barely move it and it responds, right? Because this is your safety. But you could be a little bit like that, and then you could oscillate a little bit between, was that like a good decision, was it not? Because you realize that you have these wounds that you're still trying to heal. Nobody is perfect, and we're all trying to heal something at different points in our lives, and that's just a part of life, right? People are realizing that you will actually make a decision, but that maybe they have to be patient with you in the trust area, because you got trust issues, and rightly so. Pile number 2, if you are liking these kind of readings, do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now, I heard ESO, actually, with ESO Tarot, I believe her handle is, she talked about how listening to the ads for 12 seconds will actually help her channel. So you don't have to listen to the whole ad if you don't want to, but if you would kindly listen to at least the first 12 seconds just to support the channel, free way for you to support it, that would be great. So thank you, Isa. Yeah, but don't forget also to click your little notification bell where you get notified that I drop further readings. Pile number 2, what have they realized about you? Yeah, that this manner of being, that waiting for the final sword to go in, like count them, 10. That's a lot. You're not doing that. That when you feel like there's a nail in the coffin, that things are ending, that there are endings, that you're going to allow them to end, that you're not going to fight for something that simply doesn't exist. You're not going to fight for people that don't want to stay in your life, that don't want to really maybe understand you. You're not going to fight for something in someone or a situation that's committed to misunderstanding you. And that's your final answer. So while it may appear sometimes that you don't know all the answers, you definitely know that. You're not going through these hard lessons any longer. That when somebody tells you they don't like you, they're not your friend, they're not a supporter, the first time they roll their eyes at you, the first time like they make a snide comment under their breath, you know exactly where their heart is. And it's not going to take 10 betrayals from one person or one situation or one company for you to understand that those are not your people. So people are realizing this. And good for you. Okay, concern. Yeah. Pile number 2. People are realizing that whatever concerns you, because it seems to be, this is almost like the same vibe. This could be a loss. This could be a physical loss. If you've endured a loss recently, then my heart goes out to you. I've had 2 losses this month, and it's been pretty rough. So yeah, people could be realizing that you are maybe going through it, that you are overcoming, that you are healing, but maybe that you are healing in silence, that you're not retaliating. You're not like this other entity or this other person or whatever, that they're like full swing. Their mouth is open to anybody who will listen. They will pin them down or repeat the same thing over and over again. Yeah, that's not you. Let me get a little bit more right here. Pile number 2, what are people realizing about you? Monumental shifts in your life. And even though it is extremely, incredibly painful at times, as life can be, that you are going to do the best moves for you, because everyone has made the best moves for them. And frankly, pile number 2, I do feel like people forget that. 5 of coins, yeah. People are realizing about you that you will leave them out in the cold, out in the dust. Look at that, like, beautiful white flower right here. So I definitely feel like you guys, a lot of you guys have suffered some losses. And it could be, you know, people crossing over, pets, situations, jobs, endings of some sort. I don't know. But that you're not overcome by that. You might take a minute to really gather yourself, to really process things, but that you're going to continue on. It's just going to make you a little bit more cautious when you come across the next person or the next situation or the next employment opportunity. It's going to be something that you are more tempered. You're going to not be sharing a lot at your new employment. You're going to keep it on the professional. You're going to be of the school of thought that, you know, these are coworkers and colleagues. They are not friends, and work is work. It is not a community. It is a process by which you exchange your energy and then you get a paycheck so that you can spend it elsewhere. So the truth about, yeah, what are people realizing about you? The Chariot with Apollo, beautiful. Yeah, that you're getting your positive and negative polarities, that maybe perhaps you're in a rough patch currently, but people are realizing that you are making your decision. And once you do, baby, that it's all over. It's done. It's like you're getting on that, what is this? Oh my gosh. You're getting on that platform, for lack of a better way of me thinking about what it's called. And these horses are going to pull you wherever it is that you need to go. That you will cut off and leave behind whatever it is that has served to really try to harm you and destroy you, destroy your reputation. And that you're moving forward, that you're looking I'm also hearing like seed of the soul. So if you know about that, I think it has to do with the Kabbalah and yeah. But that you're headed in the right direction for you. Now, other people could be displeased by this, but again, this is about you, not other people. So if you've encountered a lot of people in your life that want to control you, want to tell you who you are and whom you are, how to behave, what is acceptable, like they wanted to control every little thing, that is ending, that is ended, and it's left people in a pause, in a place of concern, of struggle themselves. Yeah. I'm hearing struggle mentality. And I feel like you're leaving that situation, the struggle mentality, the struggle hustle, the struggle culture. Number 1717 on camera right now. And with that, that's all I've got. Much, much love. Until next time, namaste.
Okay.
Hi, friends. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3. You chose this lovely image on the right side of the screen, and your downloads go as follows. Now, in my mind's eye, I'm looking at the image that you chose. But what I keep hearing is this girl on TikTok, and actually she's on everywhere right now. I think she's Russian. I could be wrong. But she made this like one song go viral. It's just a very small part of it. So if I remember, I will attach a link so that you can see what I'm talking about. But basically, she is comes to the screen fairly unremarkable. Her hair is pulled back, and she does this noise like ah da 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 da. So if you know what that like popular song is, it's not in English, so I have no idea what they're talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But she opens her mouth really big, and she has a ginormous mouth, and I love her so much because I feel like she could be in any scary movie and she would pull it off. She could be a cameo and steal the entire show. It's that kind of energy. And so pile number 3, I definitely feel like you're coming into your own. I feel like any changes that you made have been changes for your own platform, your own benefit. I feel like when I say platform, doesn't necessarily have to mean platform like this or Rumble or X or Facebook or whatever it is your thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could just be like your platform of life, the stage of life, things like that. I definitely feel like you are making boss moves, and the fact that you're eliminating things that, you know what, that's just not me. If you want fluffy, if you want sweet, if you want blink, blink, can you please help me? Like helplessness, you're not doing it. You're kind of like, yeah, that's for somebody else. Enjoy it. But I'm going to move over here where this is more me. And you're making no apologies, and I love this for you. Now, pile number 3, I'm also seeing how I'm looking into the forest, my other favorite way of downloading information. And I see kind of like a creature, which is just really a clump of trees, leaves, whatever. Leaves on a tree, and it's like folding back into itself, and it almost looks like a creature or a person hanging onto a tree with like 4 limbs hanging over, a little bit like a bear. Okay, so you could have somebody kind of watching you that's a little bit like protective of you, but they don't want to be seen, that kind of thing. So I don't know, a little bit looky-loo, a little bit stalker-y, but not necessarily in a bad way. But then I got to say, Griselle, that's implying that stalker behavior is good. I'm not an advocate for that. Let's be very clear. But on the other hand, I'm just saying some of us are a little bit not right in the head, okay? So if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I just mean like, if you like somebody, maybe you go on their Facebook or you go on their public arena, whatever their thing is, and you are there to glean some information because you feel like it could advance your chances, or you're simply kind of fascinated by that person. Yeah, look, magnetism. So it could be like maybe you are Scorpio, you have scorpionic tendencies, or that you have just this animal magnetism that people cannot stay away from. But people obsess over you, make no mistake. So I'm not saying all of it is good, but also I'm not saying all of it is bad either. So you could be a little bit like, wow, you've got some quirks there, maybe even some kinks. I don't know your life, right? Yeah, but you could like the paranormal, you could like the ID channel or court TV, or you could like I'm hearing Inside Edition. I'm like, no, Grisel, that's you. That's old show, which is no longer around, I believe. But I'm thinking of all the like 48 hours, and I don't feel like it's going to be the crime shows that are designed for television, that were just drawn up. Oh, let's, NCIS is what I'm thinking. I mean, it could be something, or people affiliate you with that, but I feel like your brain would get bored with things like that. So you are about watching like the real crime stories. How did they solve it? How did they do it? What tipped them off? And so on and so forth. So I'm definitely that person. Maybe this is my pile. Who knows? You could be attracted to like the paranormal. You could be attracted to like spirit boxes or the Ouija board, which 10 out of 10 I would never recommend. I don't do that. That Ouija board freaked me out once upon a time. Never again. I'm good. But you do you. So, but I definitely feel like, you know your limits, and you're like, okay, I'm good with this, not good with this. And people love this about you. And they're realizing, wow, it's like, regardless of what they originally thought, that the things that you're embracing or the things that you're about, other people are actually really jumping on board and supporting you and cheering you on. And I feel like this could be a surprise for a lot of people that once upon a time were around you. This could be like friends from childhood or people that you moved away from, whatever this thing is, right? And people are like, well, who knew that you like to color on your notepad, and or you went to school and you covered on every notebook that you had, and maybe, like graffiti style, whatever. And your teachers are like, hey, you need to knock that off or pay attention. But that's how you sort of like multitask, and you decompress and you process information. And maybe perhaps now you have like a sign painting business or something about creativity, or you help put on parties or special events coordinator. There you go, Grisel. Something like that. But I feel like there's something very niche about what you do or who you are. And people are very drawn to this niche. It's very fascinating. And I feel like you're looking to diversify that. So if this is you, if this sounds like you, or if this sounds interesting, join me for the shuffle and your subsequent reading in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome. If you're new to my channel, I hope that you find something that is very helpful, hopeful, something that's inspiring, or at the very least encouraging here. And for those of you guys that are indeed my repeat offenders, I am so grateful. Thank you so much for your kindness, for your patience. It's been a rough month, as I've mentioned before. If you haven't listened to any other piles or any other reading in a while, I have lost 2 loved ones. One was a good friend, and one was my companion, my spirit animal now, Coco Chanel. So unfortunately, he's no longer with us as well. But I'm grateful for your patience and for all your kind words. Pile number 3, the truth that people are okay. I'm like, what are the people realizing about you? I feel like truth. And I also kept getting like business, like popping out, popping off. I'm getting a lot of like cutting edge, not afraid to go after what it is that you want. I feel like you guys could also have a tie to pile number 1. Pile number 3, the 3 of Cups, whatever gives you joy, pleasure. I'm hearing 3 of Cups right here. And this could be about having drinks with people, having maybe going out, or like you have a friend group and maybe they don't like each other. It's almost like they're having a little bit of a face off. They're like, why are you the friend? Well, why are you the friend? Once upon a time, I had 2 friends that were like that. And they were like, well, I don't know why you like her. And they would say almost identical things about each other. It was kind of funny. But yeah, a few times I had them together and that didn't go super well. So maybe perhaps people could realize about you that you're so multifaceted that you attract very different people. And those energies perhaps want to combat over you. They want to fight over you. And yeah, there's like an air of possessiveness about you. And I feel like you're simply focused. You're focused straight ahead, moving forward. You're not really worried about like what the struggle life is over here, because that's not about you. You're not, I feel like you're aware that you can't possess any one person. And also, I feel like you're of the school of thinking that, like, we need many different friends, many different companions or contacts or whatever. It's not about just one person being the it person in your life. I feel like it's similar to what a psychic told me a gazillion years ago, and I got really angry with her. She told me that friends were like shoes, that, you know, you're going to have a lot throughout your lifetime. And I really didn't think about that parable, but it stuck with me because it was so offensive and I was so idealistic. And I'm like, the hell, you know? And I felt like there was just, I don't know. I didn't want to believe it, but it got under my skin. And years later, here I am talking about it again. So I definitely feel like she was right. You have friends that are willing to put on their hiking boots with you, go hiking. They're willing to go deep into the well with you, into deep, dark places that maybe perhaps you don't even want to go to, in order to process pain, process thoughts, process things. Others are willing to, you know, go on a perfectly great airplane and jump out of airplanes with you and go, yeah, and do things like that, adventurous things, or maybe rappelling, or white water rafting, or mountain biking, whatever the thing is, or scuba diving. I don't know your life. So I feel like you have a lot of different people around you, the graces, and that you give grace to people also, that you're somebody that you allow people to be what they are, whom they are, and you don't try to hammer, oh, come on, come to this party with me, when you know that they're an introvert. They don't like to party. They don't like being around people. They're not going to smoke with you or drink with you or, you know, partake in whatever, or they're not about that life, that crowd, or they have other things that are more interesting, more pressing. You're not going to be peer pressuring anyone into any of those things. And likewise, you won't allow that to happen to you. So people are realizing about you that you have this like very, I don't want to say unique perspective, because to me it makes sense. To me it's like no different than once upon a time I used to manage. And when I did manage, I would think about, okay, this person's really good at insurances, and wow, that's like a gift and talent. And I would try to hire like new talent that I knew had like a great gift, and I had an idea where I was going to put them, of course. But I would put them in tandem with this person that was really good with insurances, especially if that was a weakness of this newcomer or whatever, if I was moving people around or getting another person from a different store, whatever the case is. And so I felt like that would really help people to become well-rounded, or at least have a fighting chance. And sometimes it would serve to unlock and crack open a gift that they were even unaware of. And so I feel like you have that mindset of, okay, well, this doesn't really work here. Let me move it here, there, and so forth. So I feel like you're very progressive thinking, very upcoming, very, also I'm getting fierce, very direct. You could be somebody who has, oh yeah, many different businesses. So this flew out of the deck and I looked at it and I'm like, yep, that's for us. Pile number 3. What are people realizing about thee is that you eat flowers. Just kidding. You could though. You could be witchy. You could be kitchen witch. I don't know your life. But the Queen of Wands with Psyche right here. And I'm looking at all this flower, all the flowers and all the beauty surrounding her, and her crown chakra, of course, is popping as well. And I feel like this is talking about opportunity and taking a bite out of life. And I feel like you have almost like people would initially consider it a reactive reaction to life. Kind of like, well, then what the heck? I'm just going to do this. It would seem like on impulse, but on closer inspection, there is a lot of skill, a lot of thinking, a lot of strategy, and a lot of going with your gut, your intuition. So I feel also that with the Queen of Wands right here, this is a mover and the shaker. This is a manager, the business maker. So you could be having little business babies being born, like little spin-offs. And I feel like eventually all these cogs, right, are going to work together. Like, for example, for a while I was doing respite care, and I guess that well dried up because of government funding. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to have to inquire. But so I was doing respite care, and I'm an optician, and then I do this, and then I have clients in between. If you want a personal reading, go ahead and, you know, let me know in the comments, and I will give you my email. We'll figure it out. But I digress. So you could have all of these different things going on, seemingly different, and yet somehow they're related. And I feel like you're about to be able to interconnect those things. So whether they're actual just hobbies, right? Because we need to be in play mode as well. Adults have forgotten how to play. That's one thing that I want to mention. But what people are realizing about you is that you use a very broad strokes when you're painting, right? Broad strokes, and you allow them to evolve, things to evolve, how they're going to evolve. So you can actually see what the functionality is, how it would work, how you can improve it. And if it's something that's going to be long-standing, or if it's something that's going to be integrated into your life, other parts of your life. Like you could run a shelter or help the rescue shelter, or on weekends you go out and feed the homeless, or pets that are like stranded in the aftermath of horrible things that have happened, like natural disasters or whatever. I don't know your life once again, but I feel like you could be integrating those into different partnerships or working on it together. Business plans are different. I feel like you're not afraid to change things up, try different things and tweak it. I'm being led to share with you also, like, I saw it was a kind of an ad. Yeah, it was like a reel or whatever on social media. And it was talking about adopting pets. And it's like, for example, if you were going to adopt Coco, and it's like, you want the most snarky, untouchable animal ever, the one who will just as soon bite your knuckle off as allow you to give them a kiss, and like all the negatives. So this person had all these negative things, and you will, this one might steal your soul in the middle of the night, and they might claw your eye out if you're not very careful. And if you're ready for this pet, then you can adopt and call, So I think that you have a very, I'm hearing humoristic, I don't even know if that's a word for real, but you have a real humorous way of talking about things. You're shedding a light on things in a whole different manner. And I feel like pieces of puzzle coming together in quite unexpected ways. Now, pile number 3, I definitely feel that you have an eye for things that are going to work. And I'm looking at this tree and I'm thinking it's bending towards the warehouse. That's not good. I'm gonna have to let my friends know, because it's on our property. This is not my property, by the way, not at all. But it's on my friend's property, and it seems to be looming over the next door neighbor's property. They built like a boat warehouse or something. I don't know what's going on over there, but that could be dangerous. And I feel like you have this ability to foresight, to kind of Rubik's Cube, to channel things together in order to make them flow. Things that seemingly would be a deterrent. Like, for example, that ad that I mentioned to you, who's going to want to adopt like a pet like that? But it totally works. It works. That sense of humor, that type of advertisement takes a certain kind of a person like myself. It would probably work on me, right? I'd be intrigued, and I'm like, well, let me go see this little hellion. Maybe I might want to have this little pet in my life as well. Maybe my little spirit animal is calling me, and this is an outward manifestation of all of my inside shenanigans. So I don't know, right? But what are people realizing about the world? Yeah, that there have been many endings, but that it's only served to make you more beautiful. Perhaps some of you guys have a vine on your shoulder, like a tattoo, or a shoulder tattoo, or a picture of vines. Maybe perhaps you identify with a lot of the goddesses, or a lot of the old traditional I'm picturing the saints is what I want to say. Maybe you really are drawn to the saints. I really like the picture of the saints, and the more gold they are, I'm like, ooh, shiny. So I really love that as well. I feel like you could be somebody who likes like mixed media art and things like that. And so you tend to play with things to the point where they resonate with you. They're uniquely you as well. So something about a new project that is going to launch and really pull things together for you is coming about. People are realizing that about you. So pile number 3, if you're liking these kind of readings, this little chaos in your corner, if this works for you, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. I really enjoy making these videos. They're a way that I can decompress, and I feel like I can connect with my people that actually kind of get where my brain is going, versus a lot of times where I feel like an alien. anyways, yeah, but don't forget to click your little notification bell where you get notified for further readings. So what are people realizing about oh, this one came out in another reading as well. Came out in the pre-shuffle as well. So the number 40 reducing to the number 4 as well. So yeah, 6th chakra with Archangel Metatron. So Metatron can be someone that you are drawn to, the Archangel. And then the garden and the gate. Yeah. And so you have this ability to open up the gate and bring forward like a lot of abundance, a lot of people into your corner of the world. And you have this ability to really, again, integrate. It's like, well, I'm going to allow that. Should I allow that? There's a lot of flowers and grass on the other side, but what she takes care of and tends to is something totally different. And for some reason, I want to go ahead and look up this like, this card for you because I'm fascinated. And we're back. So I was looking at the wrong book, you guys. What the hell? So here we go. The 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. I guess you can look at it too while we talk. Clarity of thought. This is a very powerful Archangel Metatron. It brings brilliant indigo vibrations to your brow chakra or third eye, which is the center of devoted insight and clear thought. When this card appears in the upright, indicates a much greater clarity in your thought process and an expanded perspective towards broader horizons. Some new perspectives are taking hold, and the clouds of confusion are clearing. Yeah, you're gaining clarity. In some ways, this could be a new beginning. You're on your way to developing a deeper insight about what's going on in your life and why. Now it's time to focus on your personal vision. Yeah, this has been about your personal vision the whole time. What is it that you want your life to look like in the future years? Create a clear picture and support it with your daily thoughts. Insight that you need to create a vibrant life is available to you right now. Very cool. All right. So that is what that is. Clarity being brought to the forefront. And what else? What are people realizing? Official person. Yeah. Maybe that it's official, that you are the official. Oh, family room. Maybe that people want to make it official with you. So whatever this is, this could be partnerships. 222 could be very important. I love that number along with the 4s. I actually like the ones as well. So 2221 could be important to you. Look that up. If you want to share what the meaning of it is, like an angel number, you can put that in the comments below if you want. But this talks to me about official, making things official, making a business official, making a partnership official. You are highly thought of, highly esteemed, highly decorated, and it's only going to go up from there. With the 2, I always feel like that to me is partnership. The 22 reduces to 4, right? To me, that is about stability. Stability is returning to you. Continue following your third eye chakra, your downloads that you're getting. Number 211 right now on camera, because I had to restart my camera for that little read that I gave you a second ago. And that reduces to 4 as well. And then family room. Yeah, this is about your family or making a new family or bringing family to the forefront, however that may be. And this could be a combination of like blood family and family that you have found throughout your travels that you've gravitated towards, whatever the word family means to you. Family could be your, I don't know, your work situation. But whatever this is, I feel like people want to draw upon you. They want to make it official that you are like a part of them, a part of theirs. If this is an employer, they want to make it official with you that, you know, you could rest easy because I'm going to take care of you, because with the red, this alludes to me to like the root chakra as well. And then the red carpet right here as well. The red curtains do the carpet match curtains. I don't know why that's out there too, but people are really curious about you. There's a lot of like sexual energy around you. So maybe people want to make that official in some way, like they want to snag you up, or they want to be like formally they want to be your partner, right? Whether this is I don't know, a sneaky link, but they want to make it official, something about that. Or this is like, I want to make it official because I really highly esteem you. So whether it's professional, familial, friendship, platonic, whatever, I feel like people want to really make it official. And that's what they're realizing about you, is like you are not one to be trifled with, but they keep coming towards you, like in their mind, body, heart, and soul. And so they want to do this in person as well. And with that, much, much love. Until next time, namaste.